What is meant by indicators?
An indicator is a type that changes color when it is put into an acid or a base. An indicator tells us whether the substance we are testing is an acid or a base by changing its color. The three common indicators to test for acids and bases are litmus, methyl orange, and phenol phthalate.
Define litmus.
Litmus solution is a purple dye which is extracted from a plant called lichen. It turns red in acid solution and blue in basic solution. It is made into blue and red litmus for the testing of acids or bases. An acid turns blue litmus into red. A base turns red litmus to blue.
Define methyl orange and phenol phthalate.
Methyl orange and phenol phthalate are synthetic indicators. The natural color of methyl orange is orange. Methyl orange indicator gives red color in acidic solution and yellow color in basic solution. The natural color of phenol phthalate is colorless. This indicator is colorless in acidic solution and turns pink in basic solution.
What is meant by olfactory indicators?
Those substances whose smell changes in acidic or basic solution are called olfactory indicators. Onion and vanilla extract are olfactory indicators. When a basic solution is added to a cloth stripe treated with onion extract, then the onion smell cannot be detected, and in acidic solution, smell can be detected. When a basic solution is added to vanilla extract, the vanilla smell cannot be detected, and in acidic solution, smell can be detected.
Define acid.
Acids are those chemical substances which have a sour taste. An acid changes color of blue litmus to red. The acids present in plant materials and animals are called organic acids, and these are not harmful to eat or drink. The acids prepared from the minerals of the earth are called mineral acids. These are man-made acids. Concentrated mineral acids are very strong and these are harmful. Three common mineral acids are hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid.
What is meant by concentrated and dilute acids?
A concentrated acid is one which contains minimum amount of water in it. A dilute acid is one which contains much more water in it.
What is the process of making the acid dilute?
The dilution of a concentrated acid should always be done by adding concentrated acid to the water gradually with stirring, and not by adding water to concentrated acid, because when a concentrated acid is added to water, the heat is evolved gradually and easily absorbed by the large amount of water. If water is added to concentrated acid, then a large amount of heat is evolved at once. This heat changes some of the water into steam explosively, which can splash the acid on our face or clothes and cause acid burns. Even the glass container may break due to excessive heating.
What are the properties of acids?
Acids have sour taste. Acids turn blue litmus to red. Acid solutions conduct electricity. Acids reacts with metals to form hydrogen gas. Curd and other sour foodstuff should not be kept in metal vessels like copper or brass, because curd and sour foods contains acids which can react with the metals and form poisonous metal compounds which can cause food poisoning. Acids react with metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonate to form carbon dioxide gas. If someone is suffering from the problem of acidity after overeating, then taking a baking soda solution is a remedy. Because baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate which reacts with excess hydrochloric acid in the stomach and neutralizes it. Acids reacts with base to form salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. Acids react with metal oxides to form salt and water. Acids also reacts with metal hydroxides to form salt and water. Acids have corrosive nature. The mineral acids causes severe burns on the skin and also burns materials like clothes, wood, metal structures and stoneworks. So they are said to be corrosive, and therefore acids are never stored in metal containers. Strong bases are also very corrosive.
Why does an aqueous solution of an acid conducts electricity but glucose and alcohol do not conduct electricity?
An acid is a substance which ionizes on dissolving in water to produce hydrogen ions. Hydrogen do not exist as H plus ion in solution. They attach to water molecule to form hydronium ions. So the aqueous solution of acids conduct electricity due to the presence of charged particles called ions in it. The aqueous solution of glucose and alcohol do not show acidic character because their hydrogen does not separate out on dissolving in water. In the same way, distilled water does not conduct electricity, but the rainwater conducts electricity because carbonic acid provides hydrogen ion to rainwater. In the Earth atmosphere, there are many acidic gases like carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, etc.
Why does dry HCl gas not change the color of dry litmus paper?
In the absence of water, a substance will not form hydrogen ions and hence will not show its acidic property. So dry hydrochloric gas does not change the color of dry litmus paper. But the hydrochloric gas turns wet blue litmus paper red because it dissolves in the water present in wet litmus paper to form hydrogen ions, which can turn blue litmus to red.
What is meant by strong and weak acid?
An acid, which is completely ionized in water and thus produces a large amount of hydrogen ions, is called a strong acid. An acid, which is partially ionized in water and thus produces a small amount of hydrogen ions, is called a weak acid.
State some uses of mineral acids in industry.
Sulfuric acid is used in the manufacture of fertilizers, paints, dyes, chemicals, plastics, synthetic fibers, explosives, and car batteries. Nitric acid is used for making fertilizers, dyes, and plastics. Hydrochloric acid is used for removing oxides from steel objects and for removing scales deposited from inside the boilers.
Define bases.
Bases are those chemical substances which have a bitter taste and change the color of red litmus to blue. Bases are the chemical opposite of acids. So a base is a chemical substance which can neutralize an acid. A base which is soluble in water is called alkali. A base is a substance which dissolves in water to produce hydroxide ions in solution.
What is meant by strong base and weak base?
A base which completely ionizes in water and produces a large amount of hydroxide ions is called strong base. A base, which is partially ionized in water and produces a small amount of hydroxide ions, is called weak base.
What are the properties of bases?
Bases have bitter taste. Bases feel soapy to touch. Bases turn red litmus to blue. Bases conduct electricity in solution. Bases reacts with some metals to form hydrogen gas. All the metals do not react with bases to form salt and hydrogen gas. Bases reacts with acids to form salt and water. Bases reacts with non-metals to form salt and water.
What are the uses of bases?
Sodium hydroxide is used in the manufacture of soap, paper, and synthetic fibers called rayon. Calcium hydroxide is used in the manufacture of bleaching powder. Magnesium hydroxide is used as an antacid to neutralize excess acid in the stomach and cure indigestion.
Define pH scale.
The pH of a solution is inversely proportional to the concentration of hydrogen ions in it. The strength of acids and bases are measured on a scale of numbers called the pH scale. The pH scale have 0 to 14 values. Neutral substances have a pH of exactly 7. Acids have a pH of less than 7, means lower the pH, stronger the acid. Bases have a pH of more than 7, means higher the pH, stronger the base.
What is the universal indicator?
Universal indicator is a mixture of many different indicators which gives different colors at different pH values of the entire pH scale.
How does an antacid works? Name two common antacids.
Our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. This dilute hydrochloric acid helps in digesting our food. The excess acid in the stomach causes indigestion, which produces pain and irritation. Antacids are a group of mild bases which have no toxic effects on the body. Being basic in nature, antacids react with excess acid in the stomach and neutralizes it. The two common antacids are magnesium hydroxide and sodium hydrogen carbonate.
Explain the pH change as the cause of tooth decay. How can teeth decay caused by pH change be prevented?
When we eat food containing sugar, then the bacteria present in our mouth break down the sugar to form acids. This acid lowers the pH in the mouth. Tooth decay starts when the pH of acid formed in the mouth falls below 5.5. The best way to prevent tooth decay is to clean the mouth thoroughly after eating food.
Define soil pH and plant growth.
Most of the plants grow best when the pH of the soil is close to 7. The soil pH is affected by the use of chemical fertilizers in the field. If the soil is too acidic, then it is treated with materials like quicklime, slaked lime, or chalk. And if the soil is too basic, then it is treated with decaying organic matter, which contains acidic materials.
Explain how pH change in the river water can endanger the lives of aquatic animals.
The aquatic animals can survive in river water within a narrow range of pH change. When the pH of rainwater is about 5.6, it is called acid rain. Too much acid rain can lower the pH of river water to such an extent that the survival of aquatic animals becomes difficult.
What happens during a bee sting? What is its remedy?
When a honey bee stings a person, it injects an acidic liquid into the skin, which causes immense pain and irritation. If a bee stings a person, the rubbing a mild base, like baking soda solution, can be used to neutralize it.
What happens during an ant sting and the nettle leaf sting?
An ant sting injects methanoic acid into the skin of a person, causing burning. The stinging hair of nettle leaf injects methanoic acid into the skin. In these cases, acid can be neutralized by rubbing the baking soda solution.
Define salts.
A salt is a compound formed from an acid by the replacement of the hydrogen in the acid by a metal. Salts are formed when acids reacts with base in a way. We can say that a salt has two parents, an acid and a base. So the name of a salt consisting of two parts. First part of the name is derived from the base and second part of the name is derived from the acid. Just like acid and base solutions conduct electricity, salt solution also conduct electricity. Salts of hydrochloric acid are called chlorides. Salts of sulfuric acid are called sulfates. Salts of nitric acid are called nitrates. Salts of carbonic acid are called carbonates. Salts of acetic acid are called acetates.
What is meant by family of salts?
The salts having same positive ions are said to belong to same family of salts.
What is meant by pH of salt solution?
The salt of strong acid and strong base gives neutral solution. The salt of strong acid and weak base gives acidic solution. The salt of weak acid and strong base gives basic solution.
What do you understand by common salt?
The common salt is a white powder which is used in preparing food. The chemical name of common salt is sodium chloride. Common salt is obtained from seawater by the process of evaporation. Rock salt is mined from the underground deposits, just like coal. Uses: common salt is used as a raw material for making large number of useful chemicals in industry. Common salt is used in cooking food. Common salt is used as a preservative. Common salt is used in soap manufacturing. Common salt is used to melt ice, which collects on the roads of cold countries.
Define washing soda.
Washing soda is sodium carbonate containing 10 molecule of water of crystallization. A cold concentrated solution of sodium chloride is reacted with ammonia and carbon dioxide to obtain sodium hydrogen carbonate. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is dissolved in water and recrystallized to get washing soda. Properties: washing soda is a transparent, crystalline solid. It is one of the few metal carbonates which are soluble in water. Washing soda has detergent properties. The solution of washing soda is basic, which turns red litmus to blue. Uses: sodium carbonate is used as a cleansing agent. Sodium carbonate is used in the manufacturing of glass, soap, and paper. Sodium carbonate is used in the manufacturing of sodium compounds.
Define baking soda.
The chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. It is also called sodium bicarbonate. When a cold concentrated solution of sodium chloride reacts with ammonia and carbon dioxide, sodium hydrogen carbonate is produced. Properties: sodium hydrogen carbonate is soluble in water. The solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate in water is mildly alkaline. Action of heat: when sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated, it decomposes and forms sodium carbonate. Uses: sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as an antacid in medicine to remove acidity of the stomach. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in making of baking powder to make bread and cakes. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in fire extinguishers.
Define bleaching powder.
A substance which removes color from colored substances and makes them colorless is called bleaching agent. Bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. Properties: bleaching powder is a white powder which gives a strong smell of chlorine. Bleaching powder is soluble in cold water. Bleaching powder reacts with dilute acids to produce chlorine. Uses. Bleaching powder is used for bleaching cotton and linen in industry. Bleaching powder is used for disinfecting drinking water supply. Bleaching powder is used for manufacturing of chloroform. Bleaching powder is used for making wool unshrinkable. Bleaching powder is used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries.
Define plaster of Paris.
Plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Properties. Plaster of Paris is a white powder. Plaster of Paris has a very remarkable property of setting into hard mass on wetting with water, so plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture-proof container. Uses. Plaster of Paris is used in hospitals for setting fractured bones. Plaster of Paris is used in making toys, decorative materials, chalk, and casts for structure. Plaster of Paris is used as a fireproofing material. Plaster of Paris is used in laboratories for sealing air gaps where airtight arrangement is required. Plaster of Paris is used for making surfaces smooth before painting.
What is meant by water of crystallization?
The water molecule, which form part of the structure of a crystal, are called water of crystallization. The salt, which contains water of crystallization, are called hydrated salts, for example. It contains 5 molecules of water, so it is called copper sulfate pentahydrate. It contains 10 molecules of water, so it is called sodium carbonate decahydrate. It contains 2 molecules of water, so it is called calcium sulfate dihydrate. It should be noted that water of crystallization is a part of crystal structure of a salt. Since water of crystallization is not free water, it does not wet the salt. The water of crystallization gives the crystal of the salts their shape and in some cases imparts them color. Action of heat on hydrated salt. When hydrated salts are heated strongly, they lose their water of crystallization. The salts which have lost their water of crystallization are called anhydrous salts. Anhydrous salts have no water of crystallization. When water is added to an anhydrous salts, it becomes hydrated once again and regains its color. Dehydration of salts is a reversible reaction.